Let's make some cute little virus pom-poms. Choose some embroidery floss in a few shades of green, a darker shade like a black or a brown, and red. You will need a pom-pom tool like this loom tool, your circle template, scissors, and a bucket or bin to catch all of your yarn shavings. If you haven't already, wind your embroidery floss around a bobbin so that it's easier to work with. Start with 3 assorted green threads and 1 of your black or brown threads. Don't use the red thread yet. Secure the threads on your pom-pom tool and start winding. You can control the amount of each color in the pom-pom by winding some of these threads more than the others. Wind the green threads more times than the black thread. To distribute the color evenly, leave the black thread out a few times throughout the process rather than leaving it out all at one point. You could find many resources online about how many windings and when to stop, but I always eyeball it. This is for about a 1-inch pom-pom, and I made my wrappings about 1 inch wide, and I stopped when it started to feel like I couldn't put more thread on without it falling off the thickest part. Once you're done, secure the ends of the threads on the pom-pom maker and cut a piece of thread from one of the colors to serve as your main centerpiece. Thread the centerpiece through from the behind and make a single knot in the front of your pom-pom. It doesn't have to be super tight, just give it a good pull. Then thread the one thread through the bottom and meet on the back side. Tie a double knot, so put the thread through twice. This knot should hold it in place, and give it a good pull. Try to get this knot right in the center if you can, and let you really see that waistline of the pom-pom. Secure your work with 2 single knots. Once you're done, trim the threads and you're ready to take your pom-pom off the pom-pom maker. Trim through all of the loops on both sides. Grab your bucket to catch the trimmings. Flatten out the pom-pom into a big circle. Place the circle template at the center of the pom-pom. Using sharp scissors, trim about a 1/4 inch around the circle template. This first trim can be very rough. It doesn't have to be exact. It's just to get the basic shape of the pom-pom started. Remove the circle template and fluff up the pom-pom. Flatten the pom-pom perpendicular to the place that you had it flattened before. Place the circle template in the center and trim around it again. You'll notice that there are more hairs sticking up on the top and bottom, and that's because it got flattened in the opposite direction. You could repeat this a few more times in different locations to make sure that all of the hairs are approximately the same length. Each time you do it, you'll have to take less and less of the little hairs away. It'll start to look more like a circle. Fluff up your pom-pom into a sphere. Go ahead and just give it a haircut and trim any stray strings until it looks completely round. Repeat to make 2 or more of these pom-poms. In this next step, we're going to make it look germy. Locate the black or the darker threads in the pom-pom and pull them out 1 thread at a time. These little threads will act as germy little hairs. Continue until you feel that there are many hairs and that they're evenly spaced across the sphere. Repeat this step on your other pom-poms. Take out your red thread and thread it onto a long needle. Insert the needle into your pom-pom and pull the thread through, but leave a tail. Don't pull it all the way out of the pom-pom. Insert the needle into a different location on the pom-pom. Aim the needle for a location of the pom-pom far away from the other red threads. Again, don't pull the thread all the way through. The idea is that we'll end up with a bunch of loops on the exterior of the pom-pom that we will cut later. As you do this, just try to find spots on the pom-pom that don't have a red thread yet and aim the needle for another spot that also doesn't have a red thread. Trim the needle off the project. Now trim each red thread so that it sticks out about a 1/4 inch farther than the threads from the pom-pom. Repeat this process on your other pom-poms. Now you could stop here, or if you like, you could use hot glue to add googly eyes to each of your cute little viruses.